What's going on, guys, and welcome to episode 170 of the Tastecast, a weekly podcast where we talk about random things in gaming. My name's Seth, and joining me today is Chevy on my left to your right. Chevy, hopefully you're doing good and are ready to talk about all the different videos that we're going to be watching today and game releases. How you doing?
Doing okay. Weekend flew by.
As they do.
Time to go back to work already, unfortunately.
Time is a-flying. All my weekends are just like gone.
Yeah, well,
as soon as it starts.
Kind of doubling up this week anyways.
Oh, yeah.
But, here in a couple weeks, we'll be chilling.
On vacation, baby. So. Can't wait. Which is nothing exciting for this channel, but maybe we can do some content while we're gone. Yeah, well, good to hear. Outside of the weekends going by fast, because I relate very, very much. Hopefully everybody watching is doing great as well, and it is the first Tastecast of the month, so that means we got to jump into game releases already. So we're going to do that. We got a list here via thegamer.com, and it is showing all the games that are going to be coming out in August. We're going to read through them and then talk about our hype for them as we go through. So starting, we got August 4th, Turbo Golf Racing on Xbox One, Xbox Series, and PC. August 9th, we got 2 Point Campus, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC, everything. August 11th, we got Cult of the Lamb, still haven't played that yet, PS5, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC. Then August 12th, Marvel Spider-Man came out on PC. Heard a lot of people talking about it. August 15th, we got Multiverses officially coming out. Right now it's in beta on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, and PC. Let's hope for a Switch port. August 16th, we got Roller Drome on PS4, PS5, and PC. Then on August 17th, we got Kirby's Dream Buffet on Switch. August 18th, there's a game coming out every single day. That's kind of crazy. Normally it's like, all at one day. All right, so August 18th, we got Thymesia, PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. And then also on August 18th, we got We Are OFK on PS4, PS5, Switch, and PC. August 19th, we got Madden NFL 23 coming out on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, and PC. And then August 23rd, we got Saints Row coming out on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, and PC. August 23rd, we got Midnight Flight Express, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, PC. August 25th, we got F1 Manager 2022, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, PC. August 26th, Soul Hackers 2, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, PC. It seems like this whole month, everything that's coming out is coming out on everything. It's kind of weird. August 26th, Pac-Man World Repack, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC. August 26th, Nexomon plus Nexomon Extinction Complete Collection. Can't wait for that one on PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. August 30th, we got Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, PC. And last but not least, August 30th, we got TMNT, the Cowabunga Collection on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC. Chevy, any of these games calling out to you in August?
No.
Not one.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, not a single one.
So it's really interesting because I noticed this like a month ago, but I'm seeing more and more people kind of talking about it too. So it seems like everyone's on the same page. There kind of seems to be a drought happening in gaming right now. And I'm looking at this list too, and there's some stuff I'm going to talk about in a sec. But it is kind of interesting that even all the games I am interested in on this list, none of them are like must-haves for me. So it's kind of a weird time in gaming right now because the beginning and even middle of this year have been full of a lot of great games, and we have a lot of great games coming, but right now it's just kind of a lull, which is interesting, but also we're always complaining about too many games. So
honestly, I have zero complaints that I'm not interested, but
yeah,
there's a lot of titles there for me to not have any interest.
There's just almost never a Tastecast where I ask somebody, hey, any games on that list look good to you? And there's like, no. Yeah. So it's just funny.
I will say, I think Cult of the Lamb looks good. I just know I wouldn't play it. So.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, Cult of the Lamb is out, and I want to play it. So I'm probably going to pick it up. I haven't done that yet, but I am planning on it. Curious about Marvel Spider-Man on PC. I already played it and beat it when it came out, but it is awesome that it's out on PC, and apparently people are loving it over there, so on PC, so that's pretty cool. Also, it looks better than every version prior, so that's good to know. I'm actively playing Multiverses. We will be talking about that when we talk about games we've been playing. Very interested to see how it is... how well it is supported as it fully comes out and we get the first season of content, because I know they are adding characters and stuff like that. So to say I'm interested in picking it up, I'm already playing it, so I'll continue playing it. Let's see, Saints Row. I have been on the fence on that game ever since it was announced, and I'm still not hyped for it. But I think I'm going to pick it up because I found out it has 2-player co-op through the story. And I would probably play that. Other than that, I don't know. I got no hype for it, but I feel like I got to try it just because it's been a while since Volition has made a game and made a Saints Row. So it's kind of weird, but I'm probably going to pick that up. Slightly curious about Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed, as I like the OG games. And I think that's about it, which kind of sucks. And sadly, the biggest game for me here is Multiverses, because I'm already playing it. And the one I'm most hyped for is Cult of the Lamb, but I haven't picked it up yet. So use August to catch up on all the games.
Play the Plus games.
That's my plan. And yeah. Anything else?
Not really. It's kind of a dry one for me.
Yeah, this kind of a lackluster month. So yeah, let us know in the comments. Is there any games on this list you're looking forward to playing this month? Any games that are not on the list that you want to mention maybe? And any games that you're already playing? Have you played Marvel Spider-Man on PC? Have you played Cult of the Lamb? Let me know if it's good. And are you playing Multiverses? Let me know everything you're thinking about in the comments below. All right. That was very quick. Let's jump into what we've been playing, where we talk about the games we've been playing in like the last week or so. I'll go first. So 2 games I've played that I can't talk about yet are Soul Calibur 6, which is our game of the month, randomly picked. Interestingly enough, I have had that on PS4 since it came out. Barely played it. It was on sale, very cheap. On Steam, so I decided to pick it up there so I could play it on my Steam Deck on the go, which has been kind of cool to be able to play Soul Calibur 6 anywhere. But that is that's where I'm at with it, and I can't really tell you anything else other than there's a lot of content I didn't know came out for that game, so that's a surprise. We will be talking about that at the end of the month, though, so make sure to come back for our full review of Soul Calibur 6 for Game of the Month. And then though I have played Yakuza Like a Dragon and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, didn't play them in the last week. But I did play Little Nightmares quite a bit yesterday and plan on playing some more. So come back for Plus Club at the end of the month and we will discuss Little Nightmares and the other games for Plus Club. Okay, so the games I have been playing. Oddly enough, Vampire Survivors, which if you don't know what that is, it is a 2D top-down move a character and make sure you don't get hit by enemies while you auto attack game.
I mean, it's kind of like what do they call it, a shmup or whatever.
I don't know. I've never heard that term before.
Bullet hell.
Okay. Yeah. It's kind of like a bullet hell. It's I kind of equated it when I was showing Josh it. I equated it to something similar to like Cookie Clicker. It's not the same kind of game, but it's got the same kind of like monkey brain scratch that itch sensation of just like mindlessly leveling up for the sake of leveling up. It does have more to it, but gameplay wise, it's a very basic game. You literally just move a character on a screen with WSAD, an analog stick,
and
the mouse, and yeah, your character levels up as you kill characters per run, and then you have access to different weapons and upgrades, and you keep upgrading them until you're all maxed out, and then you try and finish out the wave until you hit 30 minutes, and then fucking Grim Reaper or someone comes flying in and just murders you. Has a lot of unlocks, which is crazy. Every time you get any kind of achievement in that game, you get an unlock, something brand new. bunch of brand new characters to play, a bunch of ultimate versions of the weapons to play,
Updated
and
constantly.
yeah, it's a $3 game, which is just fucking insane because like you look at it visually and you're like, yeah, I mean I get that. That's a $3 game, but the amount of hours of gameplay and content in the game, it's like, hopefully the dude who made this made a bunch of money because like he really made a really fun, basic, simple game that I think you can play anywhere. If you go on like well, I don't know if the Apple Store or whatever the hell it's called has any, but on my Android on the store, there's a shitload of copycats because the formula is just so perfect for mobile that hopefully Vampire Survivors will come to mobile because it's perfect for it. I downloaded a copycat that pretty much plays the exact same just because I wanted something on the go. So anyway, Josh came over and I was showing him that, and then Sarah came in and we all just like played for hours, like letting each other, like we're just swapping the controller, like, oh, you go, here's your run, you do this. We don't unlock a new character, like, oh, try that character. Oh, new weapon. Oh, these cherry bombs, check those things out. All this shit, and we just like played for fucking hours. It was crazy. I was like, I can't believe I've spent, this many hours on a Saturday fucking playing Vampire Survivors. It's crazy, but it's a lot of fun, and it deserves credit for sure. So, yeah, I've unlocked, I think I have like, I don't know, 8 or 9 characters unlocked now.
Okay.
I have most of the upgrades upgraded to a certain degree. A lot of them are already complete, but there's a couple I haven't touched yet, like the one that makes enemies more powerful, and there's one that you can take items off that you've equipped during a run, which I kind of want to get.
I'll say I haven't bought too many of the upgrades, so I'm not sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I bought a couple here and there, and then I got the one that allows you to reroll. But that's about it. I mostly just focus on achievement knocking out for the most part.
Gotcha.
So.
I've got to the 3rd map, I think.
Okay.
With all the tracks and traps and stuff like that.
I do not like that map.
Yeah, I don't either. I did okay on it, but I ended up dying. I was like, I'm just gonna go back to the other map and
say 2 and 4
kind of grind out
2 maps so far.
2 and 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2's pretty cool. It's kind of basic, but it's nice. It's just a hallway.
Perfect for achievement unlocks, though.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
It's almost seems too easy to play that level. But I was doing it on hyper mode right before we started filming, and that's where like the enemies come running at you faster, but you also move fast. But it gives you better.
I think it's like 2 times speed on everything or something like that.
Yeah, but it gives you more gold and I think XP or something like that. I don't remember, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. But if you have like any of the abilities that bounce off walls and stuff, it's like perfect because everything's just bouncing everywhere and exploding and blowing up.
Yeah, I think it's called the Rune Tracer or whatever it's called. It's like perfect on that map. I also
I was using the sloth with the cherry bombs, and he throws those, and when they hit things, it does damage. They bounce off, and then they have a chance of exploding until you upgrade them all the way. Then they blow up all the time. And then I was using the Rune Tracer as well, and
I'm
something
not
else.
super fond of the cherry bombs. I know people like them, but
Yeah, I like them. I like them because they serve as a projectile that does damage, but they also will explode.
yeah.
So once they're fully upgraded and you have like more and more projectiles, the room's just blowing up nonstop while you're shooting at people with it.
Yeah, I tend to try to focus more on like, I think the holy water when it's maxed out is really good because it puts a barrier around your character pretty much.
It's funny because I fucking hate the Santa water. I almost never use it. But yeah, once you get its ultimate, it just creates a constant like water field around.
Yeah,
you.
once it's maxed, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And then I know a lot of people like the garlic. I think it's good in early game. I think it tapers off really bad in end game.
I love the garlic, but I love it. It's funny you said that because when we were playing, I was like, it's so crucial to get that garlic like right in the beginning and just run through all the enemies because they die early on really easily.
Yeah.
And you get that jump on the XP early on. And by the time it's like 9 minutes in, you're already like level fucking 30 or some shit. And
do you have the tiramisu yet?
yeah.
So you have the pistols and stuff?
No.
Oh, okay. there's a combo with you get both pistols and the tiramisu, and it turns into the guns will combine, and it'll free up another weapon slot after that. But you just shoot in 8 different directions after that.
Oh.
It's really nice.
Yeah, I haven't even seen a gun in the game yet, but that's cool to hear. I just unlocked the thing you're talking about, though. I think
The respawn.
The respawn, yeah, it's a
Yeah.
revive. It has a 50% health back when you revive. Because I just unlocked that demon dude who has that naturally.
Yes.
So
Yes,
yeah, that's the only reason I even knew what you're talking about. But
Yeah, there's a shit ton of items, so it's really easy to.
well, the
depending on
game
what
doesn't even
achievements you
show
got.
you a lot of the hidden stuff too. Like a lot of the items you can unlock.
Well, there's one character that I guess not really that spoilery. It's not really a story-based game, but if you can beat the Grim Reaper, you get a character. But there's a trick to doing it because it scales to your level, so you have to try not to level.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah. There's videos on how to do it and stuff like that, but
You have to look into it.
yeah, I don't have that character yet because I'm just like, yeah, I don't want to. That's a lot of setting up and hoping you get the right random drops, and so
It sounds kind of like a headache, but I'm sure there's an easy way to do it.
yeah.
I was wondering though, because like anytime he like jump starts attacking me, it shows damage on him while I'm hitting him back. So.
Yeah, if you're like super high level, yeah, there's no chance. He's got so many hit points then. So
Interesting.
yeah, for a game where you move, there's a lot of depth.
Yeah, it's really crazy because on surface level, it's a very basic game, but the amount of thought put into it makes it a game that I think is worth more than $3 for sure. But yeah, I think as an unproven game, especially when it first came out, perfect price because it got people to buy it. So
Oh, for sure. And now if he makes something else, he can charge whatever he wants.
yeah, 100%.
So.
Yeah, and we've seen that story kind of play out multiple times with like indie developers. So I'm always here for it. Yeah, so Vampire Survivors, it's a lot of fun. If you haven't played it, I recommend
It's
it.
$3.
It's $3.
Don't buy an energy drink that day.
On Steam. Also, I was looking at Steam. I don't when did they add this, or have they always had this? And I didn't know. There's a way to stream Steam games to your phone now.
I wasn't positive about the phone thing, but it doesn't surprise me they expanded that. I don't know though.
Yeah, because I knew before you could do it.
I knew you could have PlayStation. I didn't know you could have Steam in that regard.
Yeah, I was looking at Vampire Survivors, and it said in its description where it says you can like stream it to other stuff or do this and that. It said stream to mobile, and it showed a
Interesting.
phone. So I'm like, is that a thing they're rolling out? It would make sense because, there's a bunch of things that allow you to play on your phone now. So
Yeah. Well, and they've already kind of been toying with the having your access to your library everywhere via streaming and stuff like that.
yeah, which would be fucking great if they nail that. But anyway, just the thing I was thinking about. But yeah, definitely check out Vampire Survivors. It is a lot of fun, and all you gotta do is start playing it, and you'll understand. The other game I've been playing in the limited amount of time I've had to fucking play games lately, my last week and a half. I said this last Taste Cast too. Fucking, I've been busy for like a month and a half now, and I'm just going crazy. But in that time, I've been able to get some gaming in, and that has been Multiverses, which has been a great game to be able to hop in and out of pretty quickly because it's a Smash Bros. Style game. Each match lasts like a couple minutes, and you're done. In case you somehow don't know what Multiverses is, it is Debbie B's Smash Bros. Competitor. That's my thoughts and not everybody's. Or sometimes I'll bring up Smash Bros. People are like, well, it doesn't have to be. I'm like, but it is. It's a Smash Bros. Type game.
Yeah.
But yeah, they use the WB characters, which is a huge range of characters. I mean, they got like Bugs Bunny, they got Arya Stark from Game of Thrones, Tom and Jerry.
Oh, I didn't realize they had a Game of Thrones. I
Yeah.
expected them to, but I didn't realize they were in the game.
Yeah, Arya's in there. She's been in there since the beta started. Superman, so any DC characters they're going to be able to add. Huge. I mean, I was literally just talking about this last night. It's really smart because first off, you have to make a game that's fun. That's the most important thing. That's what
Always.
Nickelodeon All Stars couldn't do. They made a really shitty game, but they have all these characters they could have put into a great game. Even PlayStation All Stars or whatever. Oh, Nickelodeon All Star Brawl, PlayStation All Stars. It was okay, but like they had all these PlayStation characters. It's like perfect. WB. bunch of fucking characters, and they made a fun game.
Yeah.
So, and they put the time, they put the work in. There's so much little details that like make the game feel premium, even though it's free to play. And yeah, so anyway, free to play, Smash-like game. WB characters. I think Josh was telling me that WB has access to Harry Potter as well, which would be very interesting if they threw that into fucking multiverses.
Isn't that Universal?
I don't know. Josh might be lying.
Or he could just have his companies mixed up or something.
He could be. But let us know in the comments if you know. Long story short, though, they have access to a lot of properties, and so the amount of characters that could be coming to multiverses is pretty exciting. I know Rick and Morty's coming. Makes sense. There's already a Rick and Morty map in the game, and yeah, I've been playing it quite a bit. I think I'm like only 10 out of 15 on the current battle pass though, so it takes a little bit to get through that. But me and Cody played quite a bit last night. Me and Sarah playing quite a bit, and it's a really solid Smash-like. I like Smash Bros. I'm not in love with Smash Bros. Like a lot of people are. And one of the things I'm not a big fan of in Smash Bros. Is the just all the items that you can like pick up and grab. And I know a lot of people love that thing or that kind of thing. That's not really my kind of thing, so it's always been a turnoff for me. And Multiverses has an emphasis more on the combat and strategy of your specific character, but also the class you're playing, as opposed to, having the know-how of how to use these items, throw things, catch things, all that kind of shit. It also has a huge emphasis on dodging as opposed to, blocking, even though Wonder Woman can block, but that's a class thing. So, yeah, so it's been a lot of fun. I've been playing it quite a bit. In case anybody's curious, my favorite characters I've played so far are Finn. He's really fast. I think he's an assassin class, so he has a lot of fast attacks. He can like pull a bag out and start shopping for items. And the first one is like a speed increase for your team, so everybody moves faster, which is really cool. I think I hit 15 with him, so got him maxed out, I believe. I think it might go past 15, but at 15 you get like the mastery achievement for it, so I think that's the max. I just discovered last night I like Wonder Woman. I didn't know that. You get her when you complete the tutorial for free, and or if you bought the thing, you got her. Yeah. But I was playing her, and she's a tank class, so she can shield her teammates, and also has a lasso that she can pull people with and stuff like that. But her moveset's just like to the point. She has a lot of like really quick forward attacks and a lot of like shield slams that throw people.
It's probably why it's the character they give away.
Yeah, that's what it made sense, because I was like, I'm glad they gave her away, because she seems like anybody could use her. There's only like 3 characters in the game that have expert on them anyway, so they're all pretty straightforward. But yeah, she works really well. So I've been trying to get her to 15. I also really like Jake. I don't know why I'm digging all the Adventure Time fucking characters. Jake's really interesting. I think he's classified as a brawler. I don't remember. But he has like a lot of like heavy hitting moves, a lot of charge attack moves, and some really interesting aerial attacks, which I wasn't expecting. It's weird. He can turn to like a fucking horse and just like run around and hit people, and turn to like a car and a fucking boat. And like his upward attack is like bottom of his body stays on the ground, and he just kind of stretches in the air like fucking a noodle.
Okay.
It's really weird, but pretty cool. And then one of his upgrades allows you to stun people if you're doing that move and they touch you. So that's kind of weird. Yeah, who else? There's somebody else I really liked. Superman's pretty cool. He's kind of interesting though, because he moves kind of slow, but you can fly and grab people and just chuck them off a fucking cliff.
Okay.
I hate the Iron Giant. I haven't really played him, but he's really fucking annoying to fight because he just takes fucking damage. He can be at like 206, and it's hard to like fling him off the fucking map. Drives me insane. And apparently there's hopefully they'll balance it. There's two people I've seen so far that have some cheap moves. Iron Giant can grab somebody at 0%. Walk them over to the edge, drop them, jump on them, and do this downward attack that will just drill them off the map. So they're not always going to be able to grab you and do that, especially if somebody's helping, hitting him while he's grabbing or something like that. But that's something that should be taken care of. And then I saw a video of somebody playing LeBron James, which is weird. He's a character.
Is that because of the what's that? Basketball cartoon, Bugs Bunny, and all that.
Yeah, Space Jam.
Space Jam,
Yeah, because he has a Toon Squad jersey on.
That makes sense.
But he has a move where he can throw the basketball into you, and I saw a video of somebody just getting slammed to a wall while he's throwing the basketball and just fucking
Stun locked.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. And I was like, they need to fix that. They also need to fix the lag. In early beta when I was playing it, I made a fucking TikTok claiming that I experienced no lag because I didn't at the time. I had people going like, "Oh, there's definitely lag," and I'm like, "I haven't seen it." And now I see lag all the time. So I think it's just been like, as a lot of people have been like hopping on. I think they have over like 10 million people playing this game now, or at least download something like that.
I know they've had a shit ton. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the servers are just fucking getting worked because like the lag has just gotten worse and worse and worse. So hopefully they can work towards remedying that, because there's nothing worse than fighting somebody and experiencing lag. But also there's nothing worse than the only thing worse than that is fucking having someone beat you while lag was happening. Because it feels like shit, and I hate playing games like that. Are they
hosting the game, or is that dependent on people?
I don't know.
Because if they don't have a system in place for it, like a lot of fighting games unfortunately still don't, if someone else is being the host, you're probably going to get lagged pretty frequently.
Yeah, I just need them to figure that out, because that's the biggest deterrent for me playing the game, is I don't want to fight somebody if lag is going to be an issue. I get every once in a while if it happens, I can look past it. But when it happens like semi-regularly, it's annoying. So
for sure.
Hopefully they can fix that. But outside the lag, I don't really have any complaints about it. I think it's a pretty solid like brawler, platformer, fighting game. I've been really enjoying it. The free play model seems fair. It does have a premium part of the battle pass. I'm not a big fan of battle passes. But
it is free to play though.
As for unlocking characters, you can unlock them all by playing the game and getting the in-game currency. You can also purchase character tickets by buying the founders packs.
MOBA like.
Yeah. I haven't done that. I've been unlocking them as I go, so I wanted to get the free-to-play experience so I could talk about it. And it doesn't take that long to unlock a character. Some of them cost like 1,500, and other ones cost like 2,000. I think one or a couple of them cost 3,000. And you can do that easily in a day. You can unlock multiple characters in a day, so if you're playing a lot. But yeah, overall, I've been really enjoying Multiverses, and like I said, it's free to play, so if you want to check it out, make sure to check it out, especially if you like Smash Bros. Style games. I think it is 100% the best competitor to Smash Bros. So far in terms of anybody trying to rival it. They've done a really good job. It's very premium feeling outside of the free to play stuff, and outside of a couple things they got to balance, and who doesn't need to balance something in an online game? It feels pretty fair when you fight people. So it also offers being able to fight against bots, which is nice, and still get XP and level up, so you don't have to go fight real people who might be no-lifing it, or stomping people who maybe are a little more casual, because every once in a while I'll watch people just like run off the side of the map and I'm like, whoo, okay. And yeah, it's pretty fun. Definitely recommend it, and it's a great game to play if you got a little bit of time or a lot of time. So yeah, that's what I've been playing. What have you been playing?
So I also played some Soul Calibur 6. Obviously can't get too into it, but I also picked it up on Steam because the complete edition of it was cheaper than the base version of it on PlayStation.
Real quick, this is one of the reasons why I bought on PC as well. I already have it on PS4. I've had it on PS4. I bought whatever edition came with the first season. So I got the characters that came with that. Then the second season came out. of content, and I wasn't playing at that time, so I didn't know it came out. But I was checking it, and I was like, I already have content on my PS4. I could just buy the second season, and I'm already on here. I looked at it. I think it was like $34 for the second season. And then I went on PC, looked at the version you're talking about. It was $31.
Yeah, 31 some change
For all of the content. Yeah. And I was like, I guess I'll just have it on both, and I can play it anywhere I want then, because it's cheaper for me to get everything here than just upgrading there. So anyway,
unfortunately, it's a fighting game, so like, you know, it's not like you're really losing out on a save file too much. So,
well, oddly enough, I didn't play this Soul Calibur that much when it first came out because I was playing other games.
So yeah, I hopped in. I have played it before, so I just kind of messed with some of the stuff. Checked out some of the new characters.
Dude from Samurai Showdown's in it. It's so weird.
It was really interesting because I went into the character creation right off the bat, and so without obviously talking about my experience too much, because we gotta talk about it later. But yeah, seeing all the season 2 characters that I hadn't messed with at all, being in there and in the character creator and stuff, I was like, oh yeah, there's another season. So, but yeah, I played that. Can't really talk too much more about it though.
Apparently those seasons added stuff to customize your characters too.
Some stuff.
Which is really interesting.
Some.
Yeah.
Yeah. Played, I forgot the name already. Oh, Tony Hawk. Played Tony Hawk a little bit. Talk about that at the end of the month for Plus Club. Played Yakuza Like a Dragon. And because it is a role-playing game, I can't just play it a little bit. So I put a couple solid days into it to have an opinion at the end of the month for that one. And God, what else have I been playing? I played a pinch of Minecraft, not a whole lot. I don't know if I brought this up last episode or not. It all kind of blurs together at this point, but I started building an airship, but it ended up being a pretty large project. So, I need to be kind of like in the right mindset to hop in and work on it. But I don't think I'll get it done in a day. I'll need a couple days to do it.
Like it's visually an airship, or is it like a practical one that works?
Oh, visually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they added something.
No, you'd have to push all the blocks and it would look goofy as fuck.
Yeah, that would look really weird.
No, I'm just making a visual piece. I'll get like recommends on my TikTok or my YouTube for random Minecraft stuff all the time, and I saw someone make a pirate ship, and I was like, I want to kind of take something like that, modify it, and put it in the sky. So that's my idea right now. Working on that, but again, that's a time sink, and this month had, biggest JRPG is one of the games I had to play, and then I also, to move on to my next game I've been playing Ark. I pay for Minecraft and an Ark server, and so I decided to go ahead and hop on the Ark server this month, and apparently I was in the mood for a survival game, because that's pretty much been what I've been playing the last couple of days for much more hours than I should be sitting at my computer. So started off from when we started the server, I had like a real small little shack and a couple dinosaurs, and then in the course of 2 days and some co-op with some friends, expanded the property, got a bunch of pets, lost all the pets, moved to a new area, started building a new house. So but it's been fun.
You've been telling me kind of left and right about fucking pets you're losing.
Yeah, but we probably lost about a dozen of them over the course of 2 days. But I hadn't played since pretty much, I don't even know if they had a second map out yet the last time we played, and now there's like 6 maps. So
yeah, there's a bunch of them.
And the amount of, I don't remember seeing tech dinosaurs when we played originally before either, and I've had a couple tech dinosaurs now, which are really cool looking. Though if you're doing stealth missions in a PvP server, there's no way you're stealthing with those fuckers. They light up. So, and just the sheer amount of dinosaurs in the game now, the dangers are crazy high. Like, surviving is way harder than it used to be.
It's insane how much content they've added to that game.
Yeah.
Because even when it first came out, it had a lot.
Oh, for sure.
And then they just kept adding shit. And then I didn't play for like years. And then coming back, I'm just like, holy fuck, dude. Like, it's the same map I remember, but fucking there's more things here than there was before.
Well, and that brings me to the other maps. There's things that are crafting recipes that are specific for those maps too. So whenever, you know, I get tired of this map, I guess, and feel like resetting to a new map or something like that, if I, you know, if that choice ever happens, it'll have completely different recipes and dinosaurs and stuff. So it's wild.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's been fun. I always forget that those games will make the time disappear really fast, though. So I just look outside, the sun's rising, and I'm just like, I need to go to bed. So,
Yeah, games are your like task oriented and building towards things or whatever. Time just melts.
well, and then like, you know, as an example of time melting in the game, I got a flying mount. I'm not gonna get too specific because I can't remember dinosaur names, but used it for a little bit, lost it, went back out, got a second one, used it for a little bit, lost it, ran back out, got a third one. That's my current mount right now. We'll see how long until I lose it. So, it's crazy. A lot of that though, with the flying ones specifically, their AI is really dumb, like really fucking dumb, and they just get themselves killed. So,
Like your pets?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
the flying ones specifically, because once they're zooming around, it's hard to whistle for them to make them come back. Sometimes they just don't even hear you, and I'm like,
Oh, weird.
so like we were trying to get rid of an alpha raptor. They're like glowing red or whatever, and their stats are like ridiculously high. And I was sitting on top of a rock. Me and Chris were sitting on top of a rock. We had our flying mounts on the rock next to us, and I pulled out a pistol and I shot it at once, and both the birds went and just flew down, started attacking it. Would not come back. Raptor killed both.
Nice.
It's like, oh, cool, we're stranded.
Yeah, even the random flying dinosaurs in general, their AI sucks.
Yeah, they're dumb.
Because like the last time I played, as soon as I got a bow and arrow, I made a shitload of arrows, and I started just shooting fucking things flying, and they'll just keep flying by and I keep shooting them.
Yeah. I was well, first, speaking of flying things, there's the little guys that hang out next to the water that do all this fishing, but then if you have food on you, they'll come by and steal the food off you. Not one, the whole stack.
Oh,
It's annoying, and they're everywhere. Everywhere. I hate them. So now when I see them, I just go kill them
yeah, I
before I get
fucking
close.
would.
I also scared the shit out of Chris because I made a rifle finally. And something walked by him, and I just kind of went, shot it. He was like, what the fuck? I was like, I can only do that 4 times, man. Metal's precious right now.
Still remember when we played back in the day, and I got my rifle, and somebody's like, "Oh, you got a gun?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Come check it out." They're like, "Okay," and like I got up in a tower, and I could see him across the field just running to my base, and I just like aimed and fucking shot him, and he's like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "What?" He's like, "I just died." I'm like, "You died?" He's like, "Yeah, I just died randomly." He's like, "Did you shoot me?" I'm like, "No, no, fuck, I would never shoot you. What are you talking about?"
Well, I had to remind Chris too that I didn't change any of the settings, so PvP is on. Mm-hmm. It's because he was walking by or whatever, and he was pushing me with his dino or whatever, and I pulled out a club and I was like, knock it off or whatever, and he like pushed me and I went bap, and I hit him with it. He's like, ow. I was like, PvP's on, dude.
He's fucking around too much, dude. You gotta find out.
Yeah. I also warned him because like I was trying to shoot something and he like ran in front of me. I was like, whoa.
Be a good way to fucking have an accident.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I had plenty of accidents. I actually got frustrated a couple times, but that was just because of losing things I spent hours on.
That's the fucking worst, dude. Any game like that, if you lose something that you worked hard for, you just had a lot of, or you had a plan for, and just going, you're like, fuck. I hate that.
It's like Chris pretty much turned into Chris Pratt, and he had an army of velociraptors with him. And they got all one shot by one thing, and he's like, I'm so mad right now. I'm like, well, I just have to get more, dude.
Yeah. No, I get it. Like, especially in those situations where there's nothing you can do, you're like, fuck, dude. Like, I guess that's it.
Yeah, you lived.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that game's harder than I remember. And I think it's just because of the variety of dinosaurs now. So, and then the heat, like dehydrating me constantly. So, and the place we moved is like up on a hill, so the water's like way down below. And the only way to get it was to make a piping system, to bring water up to us. It was a terrible decision in that regard, but
I didn't know there was a pipe system.
yeah, Yeah, for gardening and making faucets to drink out of and stuff like that.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yep, been playing. I wanted to play it today, but I was like, I can't. I got things I gotta do today. And I'm not that's not a casual game. So, but yeah, I've been playing it a lot. I'm having a blast. I love survival games, like in that style, I should say. I'm not too fond of. Even though I think the gameplay loop was fun of that one we played. I can't remember the name of it now, but having to restart a mission constantly.
Oh, Icarus.
Yeah,
I fucking love Icarus, but yeah, I get
I
it.
like a lot about it, but that aspect right there kills it for me bad. So
There's
it's also why I don't play Rust. So
yeah, well, yeah, but Rust just resets the thing, and this, you're going on missions. So
No, for
it's
sure.
like, yeah, it's like a temporary survival game. I forgot what I was gonna say.
it was about Icarus.
No, I was just thinking about survival games I like. Conan. Conan's really good.
I also like Conan.
It was about Icarus. There's a mode where you can just build and keep your base, but I don't think there's enemies in it. But you have to like resource gather and stuff and build up stuff, but it's permanent. I forgot what it's called. But yeah, it has a mode for that, but it's definitely not what the game was built for.
For sure.
And it was made by the guy who made DayZ, so he's definitely trying to make a game that's like a little more, I guess. I mean, survival games are pretty hardcore already, but he was definitely trying to make something where like there's like shit you can lose and you can
for sure.
fail the mission.
I'm not. Yeah, and I have no problem with the game. It's just not my style of survival.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with Rust. Like people love Rust because they like versing each other and they like that just the Wild West feel of it. I guess I look at that and I go, yeah, it's not my style of game.
Yeah,
Like,
I love almost all survival games, and I don't like Rust. So
I think it has a lot of really good ideas in it
Yeah.
for sure. But yeah, I'm not a competitive person. That game really wants you to be competitive. So, not really
it's
interested.
just too big of a troll magnet.
Well, I believe that.
I think the way the game's just designed just is inviting to anybody who's trying to get up to some mischief. So
Yeah.
which is fine. Like if you're just playing amongst a bunch of people like that, you're gonna have a blast. But yeah, it's not the right format for me.
For sure. I think that's pretty much all I've been playing. I did hop into 14 and do my summer event to get my swimsuit, but that was about it. So that took like 10 minutes. So hardly worth talking about too much. So
Yeah. Yeah, you hop back into ESO. I was playing it for a little bit, like a month ago, and then I stopped. Been busy.
yeah, well, and you don't really stick to something for very long a lot of time, anyways.
Yeah. 2 weeks is a good like run for me, but I normally go like really hard on a game if I do play it consistently. So, all right. Anything else?
That's it.
All right. Well, let us know in the comments what games have you guys been playing. What games would you recommend us play? If there's something you're playing, what games do you plan on playing? Let us know everything you're thinking about in the comments below. All right, we got some videos to watch today, and those are the Gothic 1 remake trailer. They're remaking Gothic 1. That's kind of fucking crazy. Also, on the remake front, Alone in the Dark. They're making another Alone in the Dark. Really crazy. And this is all part of the THQ Nordic showcase that they did. I humored watching that showcase in its entirety, but it's like 45 minutes, and there's a lot of like things I don't think we're going to care too much about. But I think it's kind of neat that THQ Nordic is at a point where they're making or producing so many games that they can have a whole showcase because they have been kind of building up towards that. And now they finally have all these games that they're working on. And it's super varied. So shout out to them. And then with Saints Row finally coming out soon and me being confused on why I'm not hyped for it, we're going to watch 7 Things to Know about Saints Row to possibly build some hype for that. So, first video we're going to watch is the Gothic 1 trailer. Like I said before, this is from the THQ Nordic showcase, so if you want more from this, they do a little talk in that showcase, but they don't give a whole lot of information. They just kind of say, this is coming out. In case you don't know what Gothic is, you're like, what the fuck is Gothic? What are they remaking? Gothic is a action RPG that came out in the early 2000s, I believe. 2004, 6 maybe. It was a while ago, and yeah, it's a game where you run around and fight shit and level up. I had to look up the story because I played Gothic 1 a long time ago, but I don't even remember what the hell it was about. It's apparently about a a bunch of there's a war of humans and orcs fighting, but the orcs are winning, so they need these resources to build weapons, and so they have a bunch of slaves in a mine mining away, and I guess your character starts in that mine, and you end up like taking over the mine and the colony, and there's like 3 groups you got to join or whatever. It's kind of an interesting story, but
Okay.
yeah, I don't know. Because I was like, what the fuck was Gothic about? So it's been so long since it came out. That's why I was like blown away though. Like they're fucking, why are they doing Gothic? That's kind of crazy. So yeah, we're gonna watch this trailer and see what it looks like. Did you play Gothic back in the day?
I remember it existing, but
Yeah.
I don't know if I played it or not.
I remember playing Gothic
that was a long
3.
time ago.
Yeah. I remember playing Gothic 3. That came out in 2006. Now that I'm thinking about it. And I couldn't play Gothic 3 because the game, this is such an old game, but so ahead of its time. Everything was loaded at once. So enemies you weren't even looking at were loaded somewhere. There was no load times. There was like when you walk into buildings, it was like seamless. There was no like loading into a room or whatever. And so it did not run well on computers back in the day. And it did not run well on my computer, even though I was really excited to play it. But I think I also remember playing Gothic. I just don't remember what happened. It was that long ago. So it is one of those kind of weird games of the PC era when there was just kind of like the Wild West of like, oh, that's a game. Oh, that's a game. So
Far less games back then, too.
yeah. Would you be interested in a remake of Gothic, modern made, more?
I mean, if it's a good game, I'm interested.
Yeah.
I don't have an affinity with
Yeah.
the property, so like I don't have an excitement in that regard. But
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
if remake is not the same as remaster, so that does mean it is a new game.
Yep, ground up.
So maybe.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, then we'll watch it. But I hope it's cool because, like, I remember those games, and I'm like, the story was interesting. It might be worth bringing it back because
For sure.
it came out in that weird time where, like, they were trying to make these ambitious open world games, but the tech wasn't there yet. So, might work better nowadays because everyone's nailed that now. Everyone can make an open world game now. So, anyway, we're gonna watch this and we'll discuss it after in 3, 2, 1, and go. That almost scared me. That PlayStation shit. Done.
Especially because they don't even do that anymore. I guess it's only for in-house stuff. Never mind. Gross. That's huge.
Get back in there.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah, it looks decent. It's in the engine, which is nice. This is obviously not CGI. Guess the mine makes sense given the story I had to refresh myself on.
All's coming up. Get in.
That's a place I don't think you would go at all.
And find
True.
some more. Right, no slacking. It's a pickaxe, not a simply.
I'd like to, hopefully they show something, but I'd like to see some gameplay because visually it looks decent.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a big ass mine.
Huge.
I don't see nothing. Come on, let's head back. This is too dangerous.
And go back to that piss hole of a camp. No way, man. Not until we find that stack.
Nice.
Help!
Seems like a good place to work. It was an interesting choice of trailer.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what do we think of it?
So I think it visually looks pretty good. honestly a little bit promising in that regard. Obviously, I haven't seen the gameplay, so I can't have a really strong opinion.
Yeah, that'll be key for me to have any hype for it.
But it almost gives me like, if I had any memory of the old game, maybe this wouldn't be so surprising. But I mean, it's almost giving me kind of like D&D vibes in the way like the world itself is. Especially with them like digging too deep and finding something crazy, that's attacking them. Fucking beetles the size of a football and shit like that. So, but other than that, it was mostly just an environmental trailer. And it was cool. I like, though it would be super uncomfortable to work in such conditions that there's constantly rubble falling off the walls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that right there, I'm not super fond of heights. So obviously this isn't real.
That guy don't give a fuck.
It's not affecting me, but thinking about that in like a realistic setting, no.
A huge ass chasm. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think it is a promising looking game, but we'll see.
That's the perfect word I was thinking of as well as promising. This is promising in the terms or in the sense that it's showing in-engine gameplay. Well, not gameplay, but in-engine the world. And so we're seeing what the game will look like. And it looks pretty decent. And it looks like it's fully realized. I will want to see what combat looks like because the original one is an action RPG. And so there's a lot you can do with that nowadays as opposed to back in the day. It's very simple. And I'm sure they're going to make a lot of those systems more modern to how things are now. But outside of that, because I can't go off of that. We didn't see any gameplay like that. It looks pretty cool. It could suck. I don't know. But from what I'm seeing, it looks promising. I'm glad they went with the gameplay or in-game visuals as opposed to doing a CGI trailer because I would have just been like, oh, they're making Gothic. That's interesting. Right. But yeah, that we actually got to see what the game looks like was definitely the right move. So I will definitely keep my eyes on this and wait to see more. It seems like it's pretty far along, especially when they're telling people to wish list it already. I feel like it's pretty far along then. So, but I guess we'll find out once it actually releases. But overall, looks cool. Definitely interested.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Nope.
All right, let us know in the comments. What do you guys think about Gothic 1 Remake? Is it looking cool to you? Does it sound cool to you? Are you a fan of the series already? Did you play Gothic back in the day? Which is your favorite Gothic game? And I think a lot of people like Gothic 2. And yeah, let me know everything you're thinking about in the comments below when it comes to this remake of Gothic 1. Next video we got is also from the THQ Nordic Showcase, and this is Alone in the Dark official reveal trailer, which is really wild to me because Alone in the Dark is a franchise that has failed to get footing for a long time. You had the original Alone in the Dark that came out, I think, during the PlayStation era. I think it originally came out in 1994. It's like an old school like adventure game, but it was horror based. I think it's like one of the original survival horror games like ever made, which is kind of crazy. Kind of goofy looking now if you go back and watch footage of it. And then I think they made an Alone in the Dark in like 2001 or something like that. I think it's on Dreamcast. And I remember liking that when I was younger. And then they made the Alone in the Dark that I think came out in like 2008 or some shit. And that one had like cool fire physics, but the game wasn't good. So Alone in the Dark has like existed for a long time, but has never been able to get any footing. So it's really interesting. I mean, if they got the rights to the game, might as well fucking try something out. But I think it's really interesting that we are getting Alone in the Dark because that is a game that I kind of forgot existed until I heard that they're remaking it. So yeah, we'll watch this and we'll talk about it. Do you have any thoughts on Alone in the Dark? Probably not because it's a horror game.
It's way out of my genre. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm hoping it's dope because it seems like there's a lot of people making horror games lately. A lot of AAA horror coming out, which is really fucking cool. Now, if only, and this is a weird thing, there's a fucking absence of first-person shooters, which is really fucking weird.
It's true.
And I know it's normally like the most abundant genre, and everybody's complaining, "Whoa, do we need another shooter? Do we need another shooter?" We don't have any right now. Like none exist. But we're getting survival horror games, so take what I can get. But really weird to think about. So yeah, let's watch this and we'll talk about it in 3, 2, 1, and go. It's Alone in the Dark official reveal trailer. We also have a 5-minute thing I want to watch because it shows gameplay.
Might be spoopy.
There is a house in New
Now, apparently this is going to be a reimagining of the first game, but it's not in the same setting. It's like in New Orleans or something like that. It's like in the South.
Okay.
Which is kind of an interesting setting.
to salvation have gone. Oh God, she knows I'm one.
Someone's very into nooses. Okay.
Don't let them get inside, compare. They're not the good kind.
Derceto isn't cursed or blessed. It's a battleground.
Maybe the Dark Man just likes it when you suffer.
So it's decent. I like the facial animations though. They're kind of
Have
cheap.
you ever talked to a doctor about your condition?
This is madness!
Are you crazy? Fall on your knees. Wear the
Going
mask.
for the over-the-shoulder Resident Evil style. Makes sense.
Welcome to the Madhouse, Detective.
All right, before we discuss that, I want to watch another video that came out that actually shows, where is it? I think it's like alpha footage. So it shows actual gameplay. We're going to watch that and then we'll talk about everything. So this is Alone in the Dark, new 5 minutes exclusive. It actually shows the footage twice, so it's only half this video we got to watch.
Okay.
But yeah, 3, 2, 1, and go. Yeah, pre-alpha footage, which looks pretty good for pre-alpha. And so gameplay for anybody listening is essentially just showing environments that look like, you know, overgrowth in like a southern building and a third-person camera perspective over a girl walking downstairs. Some kind of detective-looking dude walking around an old-school house. Graphics are pretty decent, I think.
Yeah, they're not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so far the only like weird thing has been the facial stuff.
Yeah. That looks pretty good.
Well, and if this is pre-alpha, it's gonna get cleaned up more, so
Yeah.
it'll look better. Just rendering alone will do that. So
I'm a fan of the environments, though. This is something. I mean, I love Hunt Showdown, so I like kind of like that. It's like Southern Gothic look. There could be some music happening or a little
Give
something.
it some ambient noise or whatever.
Yeah, that's a little empty. Also, the impacts of the bullets didn't seem that interesting. Like, blood was flying out, but like the enemies didn't look like they were doing a whole lot.
Salvation have gone. Oh God, she knows I'm one.
That blank stare. This
Don't
is
let
just
them
the
get
trailer.
inside, compare. They're not
So
the
it's playing the
good
trailer again. We
Derceto
will
isn't cursed or
just talk about what we saw. What do we think?
So I think it is visual style wise, it looks really good. I think graphics, it looks decent. Like I do think the people look like they don't match the environment. The color
Yeah.
palette wise, they almost look plastic, which I kind of don't like. Small nitpick. It doesn't really matter too much, but I do think they should maybe change that up a little bit. I also think the animations look like they're almost done.
Yeah.
They're not quite
They're a little
smooth
stiff,
all the
yeah.
time, especially when he was aiming. It looked kind of bad. But I'm not going to judge too hard. Again, this is still early. These are all things that are pretty easy cleanup things too. So
I also worry though too, because sometimes we'll see pre-alpha or like beta footage or whatever, and the game looks exactly the same when it
no,
comes
for
out,
sure.
so-
I just know like a good example of that is like the Final Fantasy 16 first trailer versus the second trailer. Very different.
Yeah,
graphically.
yeah, for sure.
So, So I do think those are pretty easy fixes as long as they do them. Obviously, assuming they want to. I mean, otherwise, tonally, it definitely feels like a horror game. So it's not something I will buy, but maybe it'll be fun to watch. Who knows?
Yeah. I have to be careful because I've been burned by Alone in the Dark in the past. And obviously, those are probably different people making the game, different devs, stuff like that. But from what I see so far, it does look a bit early, but I do think it looks pretty decent. I think the environments look really good. Character models look pretty decent. They're a little stiff. Like that fire with all the stuff flying around looks really cool. But yeah, faces look off. So hopefully, that's just hopefully just in the trailer. Hopefully that's something they can touch up, but I doubt they're gonna. Shooting doesn't look that satisfying, but it's a horror game, so I'm gonna be playing it for the story and the horror aspect first and foremost. But shooting mechanics do matter a lot, and that is something I would hope they make better. So we'll see by the time we actually get our hands on it. But yeah, can't say I'm like hyped, but I am definitely interested that they're doing this. I'm interested that we're getting Alone in the Dark. I'm interested that now is the time, considering other people are also making survival horror games. And in that sense, I am pretty excited about that somebody's making this, because it was a defunct fucking brand for a long time. Whether this reimagining of it will work or not, I don't know. But it's looking a little more traditional, a little more safe, which I think is a good thing, because I remember the last Alone in the Dark that came out, they tried a lot of weird gameplay mechanics that at the time sounded cool. I think you could like mix certain, like your inventory, you like look down, you're able to mix certain things to create things, but it felt clunky, so it didn't work. This looks like it's going for more of third-person horror game, and that might be all they need to do to try and get this game going and get people excited for it. So as long as the horror's there and the story's there, I think people will like it, because visually it looks pretty decent. So overall, I am interested but not stoked. So I will also keep my eye on this. It's funny how we saw less on Gothic, and I feel like we had more to say than what we're seeing right here. Really weird. Yeah, looks cool. I'll probably pick it up. We'll see if it'll be on sale though, or day one by the time we actually see more on the game. But what I see right now, I'm definitely curious. Definitely something I would probably play. So yeah, anything else?
Nope.
All right, let us know in the comments what do you guys think about Alone in the Dark. Have you played the games in the past? Are you planning on playing this one? Is this enough to get you hyped? Are you kind of just going to pay attention to it and see where it goes? Or are you not into what you're seeing? What do you think about the setting? And what would you like to see from a remake of the original Alone in the Dark? And if you liked any of the Alone in the Darks in the past, which one was one you liked the most? Let me know everything you're thinking about in the comments below. Last video we are watching is Saints Row 7 Things to Know About It. This is for me personally. I just would like to get some info, see if I can get hyped for this game. Maybe it could do something for Chevy. I don't know.
Unlikely.
We'll talk about it in a sec. But yeah, this game's coming out. Volition's making it. They've made great games in the past. They made some games I'm not a big fan of. And they are bringing back Saints Row, and it seems a little more grounded than where they went with Saints Row 4, but also still kind of crazy like Saints Row 3. Yeah, I feel like I should be excited for this, but I can't muster any fucking any hype for it, which is really weird. So hopefully this can alleviate some of that. Chevy, what do you think about Saints Row the series, but also what are your thoughts on a new Saints Row coming out?
So my thoughts on the series is they pretty much ended after Saints Row 2.
Yeah.
I did play 3 and 4. They were fine, I guess, but I really liked Saints Row 2. It had a lot of stuff in it that I really enjoyed, and I think when it started getting too Looney Tunesy, they lost me.
I can appreciate when they did that and why they did it, because they're trying to differentiate themselves from Grand Theft Auto. But as a person who was a fan of the alternative to Grand Theft Auto that was Saints Row 1 and 2, I feel like they left me as a fan of that behind when they created a superhero game, essentially.
I think the part I really liked about at least the older Saints Rows honestly had nothing to do with like Grand Theft Auto or that style as much as like you could have bases and people, and there was customization options in that regard. And it felt more like you were managing as well as playing. And I like management games, so I didn't know that then, but I know that now, obviously. And so I like that stuff about it. But then it, eventually just turned into dildo bats and superpowers. So
Yeah.
And
Which a lot of people loved.
Sure. My mentality doesn't work with those things. So
One thing I appreciated nowadays, there's not really an excuse either way, but one thing I always appreciate about Saints Row 1 and 2 as alternatives to Grand Theft Auto is the shooting was tighter. They just shot like third-person shooters. Whereas like,
instead of the lock-on system.
Grand Theft Auto 3 being very archaic and old and of its time, and then Grand Theft Auto 4 kind of doing a hybrid of that kind of system. Saints Row, you just fucking point the reticle and shoot. And it was really tight and snappy. And so it felt like a more straightforward shooter in that sense, except for it was an open world city, do all sorts of crazy stuff. They always have these fun little mini games too, which I am sure they will have in this as well. But yeah, there was definitely a place for it back then. And then they kind of turned it into like, they're like, well, what are we gonna do? Just make another fucking like open world city game? No, let's like fucking up the ante and get crazy. And
for sure.
And they made, Infamous and fucking every other superhero game ever with 4. So where you just become fucking god. So not that great. But anyway, you were saying something?
I mean, that's pretty much it. I just, the direction they went is not my favorite. And when I saw the early, I think it was trailer for this, it honestly looked like more of the same of the version of the game I'm not fond of. So
yeah, it does feel like it's going back to a Saints Row 3 era, and that is
I think 4 went a little too far for sure.
Well, and I think a lot of people did like 4, but I think the mass majority of Saints Row fans liked 3, which is really interesting because I liked 3, but I didn't like it as much as 2. I thought 2 was way better. I thought the story was better. I thought it was a little more grounded and just more my style. But I can respect that people like 3 a lot, and so it makes sense that for them to bring this back, they would go towards the one that had the most positive review, which was 3, I'm sure. So
yeah.
It just seems like, why are we retreading 3 when they already happened? Like, why wouldn't you push it further and try and do new things? Maybe they are. I don't know. Maybe this video will fucking tell me. Anything else? All right, so let's watch this video and find out 7 things we need to know about Saints Row. In 3, 2, 1, and go.
Filled with manic action and a ton of options for carnage, Saints Row is the latest entry in Volition's long-running sandbox series. As the boss, it's your aim to establish the Saints' criminal organization through often crazy and outlandish means. Here's 7 things to know about Saints Row to get you up to speed on what's new. Saints Row 2022 reboots the open-world series and embraces a slightly more grounded and relatable brand of anarchy and mayhem than in past entries.
Mayhem's
There's no
the word for
alien
sure.
abductions or
Everything's
destruction
just
of
flying
Earth
and
here,
blowing
but
up.
Saints
I like
Row
how they
does
call it more
retain the
grounded, and
trademark
there's just
humour
shit
and
flying
madcap
everywhere.
antics that has long defined the series. Expect a new cast of characters, new locations, and a load of new activities as you seek to turn a ragtag group of small-time wannabes into
It's
the
showing
titular
you
Saints
on the
with an
roof of
all-conquering
cars a lot.
underworld
Is that like a
empire.
mechanic?
Like its predecessors, Saints Row revolves around anti-hero protagonist The Boss, who represents the player's fully
Hoverboard.
customizable avatar. Bidding to assist the boss in establishing the Saints' criminal enterprises are 3 colourful and
This is the
morally
biggest place where they
compromised
lose me.
lieutenants who have unique
Like, we had, like,
skills and an eye
cartoony
for
criminals
misadventure.
in Saints
Nina
Row, and
is
now we
the
got, like,
Saints'
these weird, like,
getaway
hipster
driver whose long-standing association with
people
rival gang Los
in place of
Panteros
them. It
brings with
seems
it useful
off.
connections and complicated familiar
I don't know who they're trying to
relationships.
appeal to with them.
Eli is the brains of the outfit, whose entrepreneurial ambition drives him to make money as
Why is
efficiently
every,
and quickly
crime
as
game gonna have
possible,
a fucking
regardless of the
LED
consequences.
mask person
And
in it
finally,
as well?
Kevin is a
I don't
DJ,
get that.
fixer, and would-be celebrity chef.
Oh.
He's another newly converted saint who defects from the organisation known as the Idols to help build a criminal empire in which he can feel at home. Saints Row relocates from its regular home on the USA's east coast to the southwest desert city of Santo Ileso. This new area represents the biggest game world and playground in the series and offers a rich new location to explore with a fitting local motto that
very interesting how
visits citizens to
deserty
keep
it is.
it strange. Moving around the city reveals numerous hidden points of interest and brings the Saints into contact with the game's 3 established organizations: Los Panteros, Marshall Defense Industries, and the Idols, all of which currently control territory you will need to liberate if you're to grow your own nefarious business interests. As you bid to make the streets of Santo Ileso yours,
I feel like there's
how you
potential for
travel
fun
is
here.
crucial
Like, it looks
to the
like
Saints'
there's a lot of
overall
crazy
goal.
shit you can do,
Vehicles
but
have a suite
it
of
also just
customizable
looks like
options to
Saints
make your
Row, like
ride
the
your own, with
older
lots of
ones.
driving missions and jobs to give
upgraded
you the opportunity to
lighting
show off your whip.
and reflections.
From bikes to monster trucks and jet skis to wingsuits, plus
It is
a
cool to
fast
see,
travel
like,
option. Saints Row
more
offers
outdoorsy areas,
multiple
though.
choices for exploring Santo Ileso at high
Than
speeds
just
with
the
just
city.
as many ways of eluding capture and wreaking havoc. It's not enough to simply take territory from rival gangs. You also need to put that territory to work if you're to build a sustainable empire. This is where criminal ventures come in. Essential to the smooth running of your fledgling gang, these seemingly legitimate business ventures are a front for organized crime. This could mean establishing a Bright Futures disposal facility to charge a premium to illicitly dumping toxic waste. There's also a return of the ever-popular insurance fraud activity,
Yup.
for which you'll need to have founded a Shady
that.
Oaks Medical Center to rack up those painful but lucrative medical cases. The world of Saints Row is fully explorable in
is
cross-gen
probably the
and
biggest selling
untethered
factor for me.
co-op. Play the game from start to finish in side-by-side co-op, or split up and cover more ground without being penalised for moving too far away from one another. Story missions focus both players on a specific objective, but you can choose to skip any you've already completed in your own game. Meanwhile, free roaming exploration is available for those who want to keep their friends close but their enemies closer for maximum chaos. Saints Row focuses firmly on allowing the player to kit out their vehicles, criminal ventures, weapons, and avatar in as slick, serious, surprising, or silly a way as they see fit. For vehicles, that means multiple types of paint in a spectrum of
I mean,
colours,
I'm impressed with
different
how much
engine blocks,
customization
various
they keep showing with the
utility
game.
tools,
It's
car
really cool.
horns that range from the muscle car to the ridiculous,
But, like, there's
and much
no-
more. Weapons can be
It's almost
switched up to turn
obnoxious.
rocket launchers into
Like, how
guitar
much
cases
is-
and assault rifles
how much random
into
things are going on.
umbrellas,
Like, it doesn't feel like there's any,
alongside
like,
mallets
standard
and cardboard
of what this
weapons.
world's like.
Perhaps the ultimate suite of customization options is reserved for
that.
creating the look of the
Last
boss
segment,
themselves
especially.
with the Boss Factory.
Yeah.
Body types, goofy outfits, and
Which, like, if you're just, like,
features
trying to
are
have
the
fun,
tip of
blow
an
shit
iceberg
up,
that
you're not gonna
includes
give a fuck
muscle
about
and
that.
vein
But, like, for me,
definition,
like,
in addition to
if I'm living in this
denture
game
decoration and
world,
asymmetrical face customization.
I want it to feel
Whatever
like
you're doing in
this
Saints
actually
Row,
would
you can look
exist,
feisty, freaky, and unique
and not just
doing
like
it.
a hodgepodge of
Saints Row launches
alien
on
metal
PC,
people
PlayStation
and
5,
crazy
PlayStation
laser
4,
guns
Xbox Series
and
X and S, and Xbox One on August
crazy
23rd.
shit. I don't know, it's weird.
For more on all things Santo Ileso, keep it here at IGN.
That feels like a weird thing to complain about, but I guess maybe I'm making a case for immersion, and it lacks immersion for me in that sense. And you could also argue this game doesn't need to be immersive. It's literally just about blowing shit up and having a goofy story or whatever. But maybe that's just not. Maybe that's just not for me. I don't know.
I mean, honestly, I think it looks visually, and by visually I mean like the graphics and the way they've chosen to style the game. It looks good, but not in my taste. The gameplay looks like Saints Row, which is fine. It looks like they're trying to make a fun game. It's essentially the Michael Bay, the video game, pretty much. Like it looks fine in that regard. I just honestly, the only problem I have with it, and it's not the game, it's me. I think I'm just not the audience. Because otherwise, I have zero complaints. About it looks like it has lots of systems, lots of side stuff to do, tons of customization, and it's a big ass sandbox essentially. And I look at it though, and I'm just kind of like completely not attracted to the way it looks. So.
Which is really interesting because I hear a lot of people saying that as well. People who would be interested in this game. So there's obviously something about it that, I mean, obviously you're just going to be more inclined to not be attracted to it. But it's amazing how many people who would be are also in that camp.
Yeah, it's too goofy. And I kind of relate it to like here's, I guess, Fortnite would be a good example.
It's Fortnite,
I
yes,
have
kind of.
zero issues with Fortnite. I think they've earned the success they have. I think they put a lot of hard work into the game. I don't like looking at it.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about that ad nauseum on this fucking channel when it comes to that type of visual style, that kind of vibrant, bright, cartoony style, and like, spread out a bit, I'd be less critical of it, but it has become a go-to style when you're trying to sell a game to a certain audience. And this game does kind of look like that, which is kind of weird.
I think a lot of it, and I don't think it's in the game itself, it's in the style that everyone's wearing. Like someone took Homer Simpson's paint or makeup shotgun and shot them with it, fucking colors everywhere. And I'm sure that appeals to someone, but to me, it's just way too busy. It's way too busy to look at.
Yeah, I think, and not to judge younger people, but like I think like younger people are gonna be less judgmental on this kind of thing because like they're just wanting to blow the fucking cars up and do all this crazy shit. I'm gonna want to do that too, but they're gonna probably be less inclined. They might even want to make their character look as crazy and stupid as possible, and so that might appeal. But yeah, I agree with pretty much everything you're saying. But this kind of game is geared towards me, so and I agree with a lot you're saying. But I see a couple things here I'm liking.
Sure.
The co-op sounds cool. I like that the missions are geared for the co-op. If that guy, what he said, and I interpreted it correctly, is right, he made it sound like if you're playing, there's objectives for each person, or you can split up, or you can like stay together, or whatever. That sounds really neat. And also, I think they showed that it showed both characters in the cutscene, which would be very cool. So I'll give them that. It also looks like a tight shooter. So you got me there. Like I like a shooter to play well, and it looks like it does that. It looks like it has a lot of stuff to do. And I keep thinking of the co-op part because that's the most exciting thing for me. It looks like it'll be a lot of fun to do that with friends. My biggest problem is with this being the next iteration of Saints Row, the only thing I'm seeing that looks like a new thing is being able to lay on top of cars. That seems like, and maybe that was in 4, I don't remember. But for that to be like the only feature I'm seeing here that seems like it's a brand new thing, it's kind of weird. Because otherwise it just looks like Saints Row, and that's fine. It is Saints Row, but I feel like it should have maybe been pushed a little further. Like bring something new and interesting to make it a little more exciting. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, customization looks cool. They did a good job there. It looks like you can really fucking make anything you want. You can be a robot or wherever the hell. Other Saints Rows had that as well. But this one, it really looks like they're pushing that. It looks like you can deck out your vehicles in like neon lights and look fucking crazy as shit. Which is cool. I'll probably keep mine a little more grounded visually, but it's cool you have the options to do that. I am curious about the weapons. We saw a couple weapons in there, looked pretty interesting. Also hoverboard, as much as I think that's kind of like, crazy and ridiculous for a game like this. It's probably going to be fun to ride around on. So, and that's what this game's for. So I have to just trust that it will be fun. I'm not a fan of the way the character models look. I'm not a fan of the way the characters look in general. I think they're dorky as fuck looking, but I don't know the characters. I haven't played it, so I don't know what their personalities are going to be like, but I can guess, and I feel like I'm going to be accurate on those guesses. Luckily, I get to make my own main character, so that will be on me to do that. But yeah, the support characters, I think, look really fucking stupid. And yeah, I mean, I think I'm going to pick this up. I think I'm going to have fun with it. I'll probably co-op with Josh or Sarah or something like that if they buy it as well and get some fun out of it. But yeah, I almost feel like this game's a misstep. And not a misstep that's going to make it fail. I'm sure it's going to do fine. But I feel like this game could have been something much more exciting. But you know what I would love, though? I would love if I play this game and I come back on the next Tasty Cast after I play it. And I'm like, dude, the game's fucking sick.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. I would love that, like, anyone listening to this, like, man, he doesn't sound very excited about it. And I come back, I'm like, the game's actually fucking dope. Like, I was completely wrong. And I will 100% do that. You guys know that. So I'm hoping that will be the case. But I think at the very least, it's going to be a fun shooter. And I think it's going to be fun to play co-op. So definitely looking forward to that. And yeah, thanks, IGN. the only time you're ever going to hear me say that, for making the info video that's easy to digest. Because I looked up so many times. I would like Google and be like, what's the multiplayer like in Saints Row, the new one? Does it have co-op? And people are like, there's no info. And I'm like, there's no info? Really? And then here they are going like, yeah, there's co-op. I'm like, okay, thank you. Fuck, I just need to know that. So anyway, anything else?
No, I mean, I just wanted to emphasize, even though my typical lack of excitement, I do think it looks like a fun time for the audience it's for. So I don't have anything I don't have any negative feelings or anything towards it. It just kind of screams. Maybe I'm too old. I don't know.
Maybe that's the problem. Maybe we're just older gamers now.
Yeah. So.
But I'm looking at the physics and I'm like, I like that. I watched her shoot the rocket. I watched dudes ragdoll and I'm like, I love that shit.
Yeah, there's plenty of things in there I like. I just kind of get turned off by there's, Easter colors on everything.
Yeah.
And everything's LED. And even on my gaming PC, I have LED lights, but I keep them pretty tame. So, yeah. And then every character honestly just kind of looks like a dork, and not someone that I should take seriously as a crime person. They look like someone who should be sitting, behind a computer trying to stream on Twitch or something.
Yep.
They don't look like criminals. They look like dorks. So.
They look like somebody older than me thought these characters would be cool for someone younger than me. Like, it just seems out of touch.
Yeah.
Like, nobody even looks like that. Like, they look like fucking nerds. And not like we're nerds, but they look like fucking dorks.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I think that's been the biggest complaint. A lot of people are saying it's like woke and SJW stuff. I don't know. I haven't even heard the characters fucking talk. I just think they look like dorks. I won't go as far as to say there's like a political or social thing there. I have no idea. But
I mean, honestly, it just kind of reminds me of one of my least favorite things about a lot of Ubisoft games when they do fashion. I don't like their fashion taste.
Yeah, I don't either.
Very dorky.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm on the exact same page. Same here. Whoever designed the game, I'm like, a lot of customization, very cool, but I don't think your sense of style is good. So,
yeah. But otherwise, I hope it's a fun game. I hope people who play it enjoy it. It looks like they're going to give you plenty to do in it. It'll be a game you can spend a lot of time in, it looks like. So
yeah, and the variety of guns look pretty cool. So looking forward to that. All right, anything else?
That's it.
All right, let us know in the comments what do you guys think of Saints Row. Let me know if you're looking forward to this, like no judgment. If you think it looks like shit, no judgment. Just let me know what you're thinking about it. Honest opinions. What is something you were hoping for with this? What Saints Row did you want this to be more like, possibly? I've been hearing that a lot. A lot of people said they wanted something more like 4 again, and I'm like, we are not the same, but I respect your opinion.
For sure.
And yeah, are you excited? Are you going to pick it up? Are you going to play it co-op? Are you not going to pick it up? Let me know everything you're thinking about in the comments below when it comes to Saints Row and everything that we talked about. But that's going to do it for this episode of Tastecast, episode 170. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this episode. Make sure to check out our other episodes. Check us out on our socials and streams, link down below, and check out our Discord, link down below. You can talk to us anytime, all the time. We're on iTunes, Spotify, and other podcast platforms if you prefer to listen to us in audio form. And we have a Patreon if you'd like to support the channel more than liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. If you're brand new, check out my TikTok. I make regular little TikToks there, so check it out. And yeah, my name's Seth. Thanks for watching, guys, and thank you, Chevy, for joining me. Until the next episode, have a good one, guys, and take it easy.